Okay. Oh Jesus. Yeah, don't close OBS. Alright, here we are. Going back into it. Ideally this video won't be as long as before, because I haven't added too much today. Well, that's a bit of a lie. I've added a little bit. So what do I want to talk about? I suppose we'll talk about weapon switching that I've sort of added. Not completely, but I will demonstrate it. Okay. So I classified it as power-ups, but I probably will change the name over time because they aren't power-ups. It'll just be like a random weapon that'll appear on the ground that you can walk over. I've made my own form of collisions. As I said, yes. I've made a new P vector for position for the object that we're going to be spawning in. I've made another called distance, which will calculate the distance between how far I believe the player is. Or wait. No. Distance is pretty much the range, actually. I should probably call it range. I might do that. Yeah, we're going to do that. Hopefully that's fine. Okay. Yeah, we'll call it range. Range is a number I've set. I set 50 because 50 just seemed to work fine. This is the range the player needs to be in for the power-up to, be collected, we'll say in this instance. I have another variable, float lifetime. This is just 500. I don't know what the units are for this, but from what I've had so far, unless I get into a slow motion kind of power-up, an actual power-up, this is just weapon switching, as I said before. I just chose a name that I was thinking of at a time. I might have to change or add some sort of time value to my game overall, but that's a hill we'll just come over another time that my instructor will hopefully talk about. So I've added a lifetime, position new P vector. This comes from, the X position, Y position comes from here, which I've set to be random, 50 at minimum, and 750 the highest it can be, 50, 550. Random just means they'll choose a random number in between these two values or these two values exactly, which refers to the spawn points that you will soon see. Oops, I don't know why that was like that. That you will soon see when I, test the demo again. Anyways, back to lifetime. Over time, lifetime will decrease by 1, which I assume is pretty fast, because it takes, actually this takes a pretty decent amount of time, actually. I've set lifetime to 500, so the power-ups will spawn in not too often, but I've made it so that way it'll go down over time by 1. When lifetime equals 1 is dead equals true, which basically means the power-up is going to get deleted, or also if the distance from player X, player Y, position X, position Y, which refers to the power-up itself, is less than range, which means it's less than 50, right, that we established here. The gun type, which refers to this variable, the float, which coincides with the player, in which way the cannon will, or which color the cannon will change into, which I've just changed to a different color just to make sure that it actually works, so that when I bring in actual sprites, they'll ideally, change images accordingly. Is dead equals true, gun type equals 2, draw, which is the same as the bullet, I believe, maybe a different color. Yeah, that's it. Next with player, made one new variable. I suppose we maybe talk about MT, GT, WT. MT refers to melee type, GT gun type, WT weapon type. I probably didn't need to do all this. These are already established as floats, but it just looks easier to me. Weapon type refers to, weapon type is only going to be between two numbers, 1 and 2. 1 will mean gun, 2 will mean melee weapon. I will showcase this if it wants to run. Okay, there we go. Hopefully this looks pretty okay. Don't really want to re-record. Alright, so as you can see, you can shoot fine. The power-up should begin to spawn in soon. This brown dot, if we go up to it, our gun changes into a green color, right? You can shoot just fine. I haven't program the bullets to change whatsoever. If it is power up again, it'll stay too. I just have to make different kinds of power ups. That'll change between the two different weapons we have. If we hit Q, we'll turn into our melee mode, which is not functional at all, but it just goes to show that it is working. I signified it with a kind of sword around the box, just so it kind of looks like something that's, melee-ish. Like I said, it doesn't do anything though. Power up's working fine. Maybe the range is a bit big, but who cares for now? We can fine tune that later. If I hit the E key, we go back to our gun, which is still green, right? Still green. However, if I demonstrate without picking up the power up, it should also stay red. Yep, as you can see. I believe this is the only progress I've made so far. I'm trying to work on a new bullet to be spawned in when the tank cannon, we'll call it, the red rectangle becomes green, but I haven't had much luck lately. Or at least I have something in mind that kind of works, but doesn't really work the way I want it to. I'm not really going to explain the code because there's a lot to look at and it'll simply hurt my brain. It's already 12 in the morning here, so I'll do myself a favor and keep the video short. Yeah, I believe that's all we have so far. Nothing added to these, no enemies yet. Bullet Duel is pretty much the exact same as Bullet, just a different class name, or not class name, oh yeah, class name, and also different name down here. Everything is pretty much exactly the same. I'm in a toss-up between when I change the gun type, that it becomes different bullets altogether, so I can shoot out two different bullets, or if I'll simply just use the one bullet and just spawn in two different bullets at the same time. Not too sure. Just kind of on edge, just thinking about it. I might just stick with the regular bullet and maybe change the velocity vector into something that's determined by what's on the main tab, just so that way I can have different guns shoot out bullets at different speeds. But yeah, otherwise that's all I have for right now. If you were watching and have watched, thank you. Yeah, that's it. See ya.